Hello friends, good day to all. This is Valia and I'm your maths tutor, and in the previous videos I'm telling you about the fractions, what are the fractions, what are the types of fractions, how can we add and subtract the fractions, right? So now in this video I'm telling you about how we add and subtract of unlike fractions. So in the previous video we know about the like, what are the like fractions and what are the unlike fractions, right? So let's start with the sum, right? We have a sum in which we add the fraction. So we know, so now we can write, first of all, we can write the sum 7/4 add 8/6. So we know that these are the different denominators. So these are called unlike denominators, right? And how can we convert the unlike denominators by the like denominators? So we know that the LCM of 6 and 4 is 12, right? So first of all, we make the like fraction. So now we can take 7/4 and the denominator is 12. How do we get 12 from the 4? By multiplying 3. We know that 3 times 4 is 12, and we can multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number, right? We can multiply 3 by 7, so we get 21/12. So same as here by 8/6, right? How can we get 12 from the 6? Now we know that 6 times 2 is 12. So we can multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 2 and we get 16/12. So what can we do in the next step? We can add both the, because our unlike denominators are the converted into the like denominators, and we can add these we can add these fractions easily. 21/12 add 16/12. Right? Now we have same denominators, like denominators, so we can add easily both the we can add both the numerators. 21 add 16/12 and we get 37/12. This is your answer, right? Now the second question is 1/5 add 3/4. So now we have the different denominators. We have unlike denominators. So first of all, we can convert these unlike denominators into the like denominators. So first of all, what we can do? We can know the LCM. The LCM of 4 and 5 is 20, right? So 1/5 is equals to 20. So how do we get 20 from 5? We know that 5 times 4 is 20. So we can multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number, right? So now 3/4, and we know how can we convert it, how do we get 20 from 4? We know that 4 times 5 is 20. So we can multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So we get, right? So now I have 4/20 add 15/20. So now these are the like fractions. So how can we add these types of fractions? We can add 4 add 15/20 because the denominators remains the same, right? So what we get? We get 19/20. So this is your answer. So I hope that that this method is really helpful for you, right? So now the second is subtraction of a fraction, right? How do we get these types of questions? How can we solve these types of questions? So now we write 1 subtract 5/9. So in these types of fractions, let us assume 1/1, right? And now we know that the LCM of 9 and 1 is 9. So the LCM is, right, we can write here also. LCM of 1 or 9 is 9. So we know that 1/1 is equals to 9. So how can we get 9 from 1 is multiples of 9. 1 times 9 is 9. Same here. Because we know when we multiply the denominators and the numerators by the same number, we get equivalent fraction, right? So now we get 9/9 subtract 5/9, right? And we can write also when we add or subtract the like fractions, we can add both, we can subtract both the numerators, right? And the denominators remains the same. So we get 4/9, right? This is your answer. How can we do this type of questions? I hope you understand these things. 12/5 subtract 1. So we can write 1/1. Let us assume 1, right? So we know that the LCM of 5/1 is 5 and 1 is 5, right? So we can convert. How can we get 5 from 1? By multiplying 5 and multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the 5, right? So we get 5/5. So what we can do, we can subtract, right? So 12 subtract 5/5, denominators remains the same. So what we can get? 7/5. So this is your answer. So, and I wish that this video is really helpful for you. How can we convert, add and subtract of unlike fractions? How can we add add and subtract of unlike fractions, right? So thank you friends. Stay blessed and enjoy learning.